Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Take It to the Hizzy Fantasy Hockey TITTH number 138. I'm your host, Justin Bruni. I got Nick Davis with me tonight. There he is. Happy Monday, Nick. How are we doing, sir?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Doing good. Hope you had a good rest of the weekend. How'd you fill out the rest of your Sunday? I know we had a show yesterday, but what have you been up to, and how are your Washington Capitals looking?
They're looking good right now. I'm watching them play the Rangers. Nick Dow just scored when I turned it on. They're up 1-0 against the Rangers, but we have been sliding against Pittsburgh, who's been streaking. So we're probably going to settle for a second place finish in the division. But you know what? It's all about playoffs, and one seeds go down every single year. So I'm not worried. Just got to get to playoffs and then do business there.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, they're still looking good, right? And relative to the rest of the league. Like my Blackhawks,
Absolutely.
For example, who are just dead in the water. Blackhawks are as close to falling behind Detroit in the standings as they are catching Nashville and Dallas. So it was fun while it lasted. It was a nice little fun start for the Blackhawks. But with this schedule down the stretch, there's just no hope whatsoever. So I'm not rocking the Hawks jersey tonight. If the Hawks can't win, then boo the Blues. Boo the Blues. Let's go Ducks tonight, taking on the Blues. I think they're on the road tonight in St. Louis. So, yeah, it was a fun start of the season. Some of the themes, it had a nice little power play for a little while. Had a good rookie goaltender in Kevin Lankinen. That faded out, and then we had injuries, obviously. We lose Andrew Shaw, concussion early on. He retires. Not sure what's going to happen with Jonathan Toews. Obviously, I was hopeful all year to get him back, but, we'll see what happens. So long for the Hawks season. But there's some pretty good news around here, though. I made my fantasy hockey finals. Cheers to my fantasy hockey league. Yeah. I came in as the 8th seed. As if you're a fan of the show, you've been watching me bitch week in and week out about just constantly losing games, despite just scoring the third most points in the league. I etched out the first week of the playoffs against the 1 seed. Second week, I etched it out by 0.10 to take home a win after a stat correction. We only had one game yesterday between, Detroit and Tampa Bay. So both of us just loaded up on players from both sides and hope for the best. And I came out on top. We'll see what happens here. We got one more week to go, but it was a miracle season for Swag R Us. That was my team name this year with Bizanet, rocking some Coyotes gear. So that was the avatar this year. So we'll see what we can get. Knock on wood. And also this weekend, I hit a huge 7-game parlay. $20 turned into over 600, and I hit another 3-gamer that night as well. So it was a pretty big night. Took a nice little withdrawal from Jazz Sports this morning. If you guys have any doubts about Jazz Sports or any other offline gaming, if they MoneyGram, that cash comes direct. So I got some cash today on making some money over the weekend from some gambling. Ready to get back into it and get some more picks in tonight. So let's just jump into it. We're going to dive into our Monkey Knife Fight props. Nick, you have those up. But before we get started, please be sure to smash the like button, share the video, and follow us on youtube.com/Take It to the Hizzy. What's our first matchup for Monkey Knife Fight, Nick? What do we got?
All right, so it's in the Avalanche San Jose game. We got Evander Kane against Cale Maker. Maker has a 0.5 fantasy bonus. I think this is pretty easy. I'm going to go Cale Maker. San Jose is just not the team this year. Maker has been way more electric. I mean, he's even up for top defenseman. So, if he didn't get injured, he would definitely be in the conversation. So I'm definitely taking Maker.
Yep, all but agree there. Kane has 1 assist in I think these past couple of games against the Avalanche, so hasn't done much to impress me. And obviously, just going up against a team like the Avalanche, being on the San Jose Sharks, a lot of opportunity to draw some negative production there, just on the plus minus. So yeah, give me Cole Maker.
Next one up is in the same game. Brett Burns versus Gabriel Landeskog. Landeskog has 0.5 fantasy bonus. I'm going to take Landeskog just because he's top line of Colorado, and Colorado has been dominant, so that's my pick.
Yeah, I think that was an easier one. Let's jump on to the next one. I agree with you. Give me Landeskog there. I think the next matchup's a little bit more difficult.
It's in the LA Arizona game, so it's Anze
Hmm.
Kopitar versus Phil Kessel. Phil Kessel has 1.5 fantasy bonus. I'm gonna take Kessel just because even though he looks like he plays in like a bush league, he is like a lethal shooter. And 1.5 fantasy bonuses. If it was point 0.5, I'd probably take Kopitar, but 1.5 is just enough for me. So Kessel's my pick.
Yeah, I have the same exact feeling. I feel like Kopitar's the pick here, but the 1.5 is just a little bit too heavy, and keeps me leaning toward Kessel, who is always has upside for a goal. He's got a goal in him in any game, right? Even if they lose 4 or 5-1, Kessel can still pop one in and still manage to be -1 on the day and still have better production than Kopitar. So yeah, I'm going to go Kessel there as well. The 1.5 is just it's too hard to deny.
Next one up is in the same game, but it's actually teammates against each other. So it's Adrian Kempe, the center, versus the winger Alex Afalo.
That's a
Afalo
coin
has
flip.
a 0.5 fantasy bonus. I'm going to take Kempe just because he's the center and they're a little bit more involved in the play. But it is a toss-up.
Yeah, I'm going to go Iafallo just from the half-point bonus because they're just dead even to me. If you look at their production across the year, I think it's Iafallo just on the bonus alone. Could come down to that half-point, in my opinion.
All right, next one up is over under 29.5 saves for Demko in the Edmonton-Vancouver game. I'm going to say over because Edmonton just tries to just tear up goalies. And Demko can definitely get the saves. I think he is, a legitimate goalie in the NHL. So give me the over on the saves, 29.5.
Yeah, I'll take the over as well. Edmonton, they've been hitting to the under quite a bit, so maybe there's not as much scoring tonight. Maybe like a 3-1, 3-2 type of game. So give me the over.
All right, next one up, same game, but it's the defender Darnell Nurse over under 4.5 shots on goal and blocks. I'm gonna go over. I think that he's gonna get some blocks, and get at least a shot or two.
Absolutely. I think he can easily clear that with adding the blocks in. He gets a lot of shots on net. So yeah, give me all of Darnell Nurse blocks and shots over 4.5.
Next one up. Do you want me to just Max Pacioretty? He has a hurt sign next to him.
Yeah, go ahead. While you go through the first one, I'll see if he's available. I'll just make sure really quick.
Okay. So Max Pacioretty, the winger for the Knights, going against Kirill Kaprizov, the winger for the Wild. Kirill Kaprizov has 1.5 fantasy points. I'm going to say Kaprizov. If it was 0.5, I would give Pacioretty a chance, but Kirill Kaprizov has been pretty good.
1.5 bonus for Kaprizov. Dude's absolutely on fire. Huge addition to my fantasy team this year, and the Wild in general have just been very profitable for me. So yeah, going all Wild tonight. Give me the Wild. 1.5 for Kaprizov. If it was a half point, I'd still go Kaprizov here. Pacioretty is in the night. Today he is probable to be in the lineup. Yeah.
Okay. Next one up, Shea Theodore, the defender for the Knights, going against Alex Pietrangelo, the defender for the Knights. Pietrangelo has a 0.5 fantasy bonus. Just because he has the bonus to give me Pietrangelo. They're both pretty elite defenders, so I think they're kind of like on par with each other. I'm still gonna go Pietrangelo because he has the bonus.
Oh, Shea all day, baby. Let's go. Give me Shea all day long. Another guy, just my dude all year. Got to go with Shea. Even without the bonus, he's going to go over the top of him. You watch. He's like top 3 in fantasy scoring all year long. No one more reliable.
All right, next one up is Jordan Bingington over under 27.5 saves. It's St. Louis against Anaheim. Give me the under.
Let's go Ducks. Let's go Ducks. Yeah, give me the under, baby. Give me the under. I'm going up against Bingington in fantasy as well, so I need it. We need it. Let's go. The Ducks. Watch the Ducks put up like 5 tonight.
Next one is Ricard Raquel over under 3.5 shots on goal plus blocks. Give me the over on that one.
Dude, peppers the net all the time. A guy that's always good for a random goal too. Very similar to Phil Kessel.
That was the last one.
All right, cool. Well, let's jump into the game previews here. Let me get them pulled up. But before we do, please be sure to hammer down on the like buttons, share the video, and follow us on youtube.com/take it to the Hizzy. Let's go. All right, let's see. First up we've got here is Islanders and the Sabres. Islanders coming in as 1.5 favorites, -270 on the money line, and over-under is at 5.5 goals. Where are you going with this one, Nick?
I'm going to go the Islanders. Shit. I mean, Buffalo's been terrible this year. We don't really need to go into like the straight up numbers, but for like the over under. Total has gone over in 5 of Buffalo's last 6 games, and total has gone over in 4 of Buffalo's last 5 games this season. But an interesting one for the opponent is total has gone under in 5 of Buffalo's last 5 games when playing at home against the Islanders. So, that's a really tough trend.
One of my best bets for this evening, and if you didn't catch the parlay, the other day, I also have another 7-gamer tonight as well. So we'll see how that goes. The odds aren't going to get me to like $600 though, but still was one of my best bets. You need to be paying attention to these guys. Islanders versus Buffalo, under 5.5 goals. Shout out Carmine Bianco. Got this stat from him. 21-4 for the Islanders on the road. Love that value. So give me the under 5.5 goals for that matchup there. I absolutely love it. And also tonight I got Bruins and Avalanche, just 2 heavy hitters with very favorable matchups. I love that value. All right, so let's move on to the next one. I think we're both taking the Islanders there, and like Nick just pointed to, there's great value for the under, and obviously that's just been a consistent trend all year. Next up, we've got the Penguins going to Philly, coming in as -190 favorites on the money line. Over under is at 6.5 here. Can either team cover, and who outright wins, Nick?
I'm going to say, I want to say Pittsburgh just because they're extending their lead. Little cheat though, they are down 3-0. But
what?
Yeah.
Oh,
5 scores down 3-0. So that's really hard to take Pittsburgh. But before this game, I would definitely have taken Pittsburgh. They were streaking, especially against the Caps, who's the second in the division. I mean, they're 6-1 in their last 7 games, and they're 6-1 in their last 7 road games. So the numbers were pointing to them, but they just got caught.
Yeah, I would have definitely been in on Pittsburgh early on in this one, and it looks like that may even spoil one of my lines, one of my parlays that I have run tonight. So that's not great. Man, Philly just playing stinker. 3-7 ATS in their last 10, 3-6-1 straight up. They're just playing at home and wanted to just stick it to the Penguins, I guess. Penguins have been really hot, though. You got to cool down at some point. So let's move on to the next one. Yeah, that one's going to be tough to climb out of. Next, we got the Blackhawks and the Hurricanes. Hurricanes are already up 2-0. What do you think about the over-under at 6 goals? I still like it.
I'm going to take the over. Total's gone over in 5 of Chicago's last 6 games. Total's gone over in 5 of their last 6 games in the Central Division. Let me see. Anything on Carolina? Total's gone over in their 4 of their last 5 games. Go ahead.
That's the one. No, the 4 of the 5 that they've played Chicago. That was the last one.
Yeah, so I'm going to take the over on this one.
Yeah, I really like the over as well. I think there's a lot of value there. Blackhawks at +1.5 live might be an interesting number to look at. Next up, we've got the Capitals and the Rangers. How are they looking, Nick?
They're up 2-0, so that's pretty solid. Let me see if there's any numbers for them on the why can't I find – there you are. See if there's any numbers for the over and under. I mean, right now, it's 2-1, so they did let up 1. I'm going to say, what's the over for this? Crap. Oh, 1. No. I'm going to say it's going to go to the under. I think the scoring is going to cool down. It's 2-1. Every team's got to tighten up. They were up 2-0, so I guess they got kind of a little flat. Been doing the show. But I'm going to say it's going to go to the under.
Right now, the live total is actually at 7.5 goals. So I like the under 7.5 for sure. And you were liking what, the under 6? So yeah, give me the under 7.5 there live.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's move on to another live one. We've got the Dallas Stars and the Florida Panthers. Got the Panthers up 3-2 here. I still think that they're the best pick. I believe they have Spencer Knight in net tonight, rookie. Dallas Stars have been pretty good recently, but I still like Florida a lot. I'm looking for some live value here. They're not really giving me any. Someone just must have scored, so maybe we'll come back to that one in a moment. The next I've got up Nashville and the Predators. They're tied at 0s at the end of the first here, so that's a good little segue. No scoring yet. Nashville 6-3-1 straight up in their last 10. Columbus 1-6-3. Any love for the Blue Jackets? Maybe they cover the number. Do you like the total? Right now we're 3.5. Wow, 3.5 goal total. Can we hit that with 2 periods?
Geez. I don't think so.
That's a tough one. That's a toughie.
They are 14-10 at home against the spread Columbus. So there is a chance for it, but it's more like a 50-50 shot when it's those kind of numbers. So I'm going to say yes tonight, just because the Nashville hasn't scored yet. I'm just going to say that they do cover.
I don't know. I feel like Nashville could blow open this game. 2 goals in the second, 2 goals in the third at any time. So I'll take them to cover the number, and I'll take over the 3.5 goals. Just seems a little bit too low. So with 2 periods to play. Let's see. Toronto and Montreal. We got Toronto up by 1. Over under right now is at 4.5 goals, and we're through 1 period. Do we like the over the 4.5, and do we still like the Maple Leafs to hold on?
I think the Maple Leafs will definitely hold on. I'm going to say the over. You said it was 3.5 goals?
4.5.
4.5. Yeah, still give me the over. I'm going to say that there's 2 more goals scored by the Maple Leafs, and there's 2 goals scored by the Canadiens, so it's going to be a 3-2 game. I'm
thinking the Leafs shut them out. I think I'm shut out for the Leafs. All right, I'm just I got Jack Campbell in that tonight. I'm getting a little too excited.
You don't want to jinx it.
Give me the yeah. If you're with me. No, I got Toronto winning this one. I do think they cover the number. And yeah, I still think there's actually potential for a shutout. So we'll see what we get there. Next up, we've got the Senators leading over the Winnipeg Jets. Stealing it from me. I wanted to snipe it with the Ottawa tonight with a sneaky pick with an upset. Not any longer. They are now favorited to win this game, -165 on the money line. Over under is at 5.5 goals. What do you think here, Nick? You like the over? I mean, you like Ottawa to clinch this one?
What's the over again?
5.5, and we're starting the second period. Might like the under there.
I'm gonna say the under. That's a little high. I'm gonna say that it could be like a 3-2 game. You said 5.5, right?
Yeah, I like that. I like the under 5.5 with a period to go and only 1 goal scored here.
Yeah.
I mean, Winnipeg hasn't been impressing me lately, so I like it. I like it. All right, let's jump back to some of the pregame options here that haven't started yet. Next up, we've got, let's see. Did they take these other ones off the board? Where'd they all go? Got a lot of West Coast games that haven't started yet. Just a second. That's weird. Oh, because it's giving me the in-game for some reason. All right, here we go. Ducks, quack, quack, quack. Traveling to St. Louis. Ducks coming in as +200 odds on the money line. Blues, big home favorites, -250. Who you got, Nick?
Let me see what St. Louis has been doing. Oh, geez, that's pretty bad for Anaheim. I'm going to say that St. Louis does win this game just because they've had a better winning percentage in their last 5 games than Anaheim, about 4-1 against 2-3. So I'm going to say St. Louis wins this game, and Anaheim really hasn't been exactly a good team this year.
Boo the Blues! Boo the Blues!
I know.
They crushed a 4-gamer for me a couple nights ago, and then the Wild came back and cashed my 7-gamer. So, yeah, me and the Blues, rough waters. Give me the Ducks. Give me the Ducks to cover. Not to win, but give me the Ducks +1.5 on the puck line, and give me the under, I think it's 5.5. Yeah, give me under 5.5 goals. Anaheim, 9-3 in their last 12 to the under. On the road, at home. Plays good defense, doesn't score a lot. Keep it simple. And the Blues, they've been good, but they're wavy. They're roller coaster, peaks and valleys type. So I think they cool off tonight, and they keep a close one. They probably still win it, but they keep a close game here with the Ducks. Give me the Ducks cover in the under 5.5. Next up, we've got the Golden Knights traveling to Minnesota. Big juggernaut matchup here. Golden Knights -130 on the money line. Minnesota Wild +100. Over under is at 5.5 goals. Both of these teams are absolutely on fire. Which way to go, Nick?
I'm gonna go Minnesota because let me see. What I saw it. Oh, Vegas is 1-4 straight up in their last 5 games against Minnesota. And then they're 1-5 against Minnesota on the road. So I'm gonna say Minnesota wins because I think they've had Vegas's number this year.
Yeah, they have. But man, both these teams are just on fire right now. Give me whatever the plus option is. Let me take a look really quick. That's who I want. Just who's ever got the +1.5. Minnesota at home. Yeah, I'm going to take them plus 1.5. I don't want to bet the money line pregame. Maybe if you get some value live, you might be able to sneak something in. But I like the over 5.5, and I like the Wild to cover the plus 1.5. But both these teams have just been so good, so good. Would love to see the Wild win. They cashed a big ticket for me the other night, so let's see what they can do. Next up, we've got the Kings traveling to Arizona, coming in as plus 140 options here on the money line. Arizona, small favorites at minus 170. Battle of the bad here. Both of these teams have just been completely hot and cold. Got very stagnant. I'm thinking about the under. What do you think?
Yeah, total's gone under in 4 of Los Angeles' last 5 games when playing on the road against Arizona. I'm gonna say LA wins just because the trend recently has been win loss, and I think they're due for a win. Based on the past couple games. So yeah, I'm gonna say LA
the
wins
old switcheroo strategy.
Yep, as plus 135 option.
Yeah, I don't want to pick a winner. I don't even want to pick anybody to cover because I think it could just go completely either direction. Give me the under. I think it's a 2-1 goal, 3-1 goal, or 3-1 win either way. Really, either direction. I have no favorite in this matchup. A very tough one to pick. And with everything else on the board tonight, I would tell people to stay away from it. There's a lot of other options out there that you can leverage a lot more with favorites and parlays and things like that. All right, next up we've got, let's see, the Avalanche and the Sharks. I've got the Avalanche in this one, money line, parlayed with the Bruins. One of my favorite picks of the night. Avalanche have been really hot, of course. Over-unders at 6 goals. What do you think, Nick?
Ooh, over under 6 goals. I'm gonna say, man, out of the 5 last 5 games, only 3 have been unders. What was it? It was 6. I got 6 over here. I'm gonna actually say the over on that one. They went 4-3 against San Jose. They went 2-5 loss against Vegas, and then 3-5 against St. Louis game before that. So give me the over on that.
Yeah, I like that as well. San Jose 6-2 in their last 8 at home to the over, and 5-1 in their last 6 overall. Colorado, that's all they bring is offense. So I feel like the Sharks, they're kind of one of those teams that are just kind of playing like beer league hockey, just going out there, not really playing for anything, playing really loose. So scoring a lot and also letting in a lot of goals. So I like the over there. And then the last one we've got is the Oilers and the Canucks. Oilers minus 220 on the money line. Canucks plus 180. Your boy Thatcher Demko is in net tonight. Any love for the Canucks at home, Nick?
Any love for the Canucks? No. I'm gonna say Vancouver is 1-5 straight up in their last 6 games. They're 1-4 in their last 5 games this season, so it's really been a slide for them. I think they're trying to stop the slide, but Edmonton's just got a lot of firepower, especially for a younger goalie, even though he just got paid. So I'm gonna say that he takes the loss against Edmonton.
Yep, absolutely. Edmonton's going to win, and I absolutely love the under. I didn't make this bet yet, but I'm doing it right now. Oilers 14-2 in their, or I'm sorry, 12-2 in their last 14 games to the under. Should be another favorite pick of the night. Oh, the line just changed. Yes, I accept the line changes, and I just placed my bet. So take the under in that game. I feel like that's the safest pick. Every now and again, the Oilers, even the Maple Leafs, they can play stinker, right? They can, kind of play possum, and they just, let one go, right? You're just like, what team was that? And then, the next 2 nights they put up 4, 5, 6 goals, right? Absolutely wild. So under 6 goals is my favorite pick there, but I do like the Oilers should come out with a win.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on to the fantasy waiver wire. Before we do, if you already haven't, please be sure to smash the like button and share the video. The first guy we have up is Igor Yangovich. Igor Yangovich of the New Jersey Devils. The Devils are another team that are kind of playing that beer league, rat hockey type of style, playing loose, scoring a lot of goals and not playing a lot of defense. Yangovich was 1 goals in his last 3 games. Has a total of 2, 3, 4, 5 points in those 3 games. A lot of points, 15, 20, 8, 5 points in his past 5 games. The production is there. And in championship week, he is only 11% owned. So if you need a streaming option tonight, I don't know how, or in the next couple of days, because we have 14 games tonight, he's definitely a decent option if you're missing anybody. Anything to add there, Nick?
Nope, pretty solid. I mean, he's heating up at the right moments with the push. Well, he's not really pushing anything for the Devils, but towards the end of the season, he's playing for next year, and definitely showing that he's needed.
Right on. Who's the next guy up?
Pavel Zajac, he's on the Devils
Zacha.
as well. Only 11% owned, but in his last 3 games that he's played, he's got 6.9 points, 15.7, and 14.7 points. So he has 2 goals, 3 assists, plus minus of 1. He gets shots on goal. He gets a block every once in a while. So he definitely can give you a championship push for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Like I've said, these Devils and San Jose players are playing loose. They're playing fast. Don't care about defense and just getting a lot of pucks on net. Shots have been there for Zacha. 1, 3, 3, 2, 1. So I like what he's got going on, and I like him for an assist prop tonight as well. I think there's some value there. I think that game, like Boston and the Devils, is also going to go to the over. Like I said, Devils also playing really loose, so I think they let up some goals and put up some of their own. I like Zacha for an assist prop tonight if you want to, get something, some live props going. Next up, we've got Anthony Bovalier. I think decent shot at that, Nick. Bovalier.
Yeah, Bovalier. It's like I don't know. It sounds good.
Plays for the Islanders. That's about all you need to know. And he's 12% owned in his last 4 games. 2, 1, 0, 1 goals, 23, 13, 0, 5.6 points. Has had some big nights recently. A lot of shots, back-to-back games with 5+ shots, 6 shots on goal his past 2 games. Absolutely love this guy in championship week. 12% rostered. I mean, all the value that you need here, guys. Keep it simple with this one. Go and grab him. You can plug him in at left wing. I think he's a home run pick right now. Who's the next one, Nick?
The defenseman for the Boston Bruins, Mike Riley. In his last 3 games, he was 8 points, 5.7, and 11.9 points. He gets over 20 minutes, 21 minutes a game. He also gets a good amount of shots on goal and a great amount of blocks. I'll take anybody on Boston Bruins because they're pretty much a powerhouse going into the playoffs. So definitely look for him to be rostered. Only 26% rostered for everybody.
Yeah, he's been very, very good. And like you mentioned, that volume is there 19, 21, 16, 21, 21 minutes in these previous 5 or 6 games. So absolutely love that for the value that you're getting at 26% rostered. Home run grab, if you ask me. Next guy up, a little bit more of shares or less shares available for him, 34% rostered, and a Mattias Ekholm of the Nashville Predators. He actually was a pickup for me the other day, and I turned around and dropped him. I was hoarding goalies. I didn't want my opponent to have any options for goalies on Saturday, so I had a full lineup. And then with the rest of my team, I just dumped the whole bench and grabbed goalies. Ekholm was one of the guys that I did grab. Look at this volume, Nick. 27, 22, 23, 24, 22, 21, 25 minutes. And he's like 6 or 7 previous games. He's got assists in 3 of his last straight games. There's 66% of people out there that have completely dropped the ball. If Mattias Ekholm is available, you got to go and get him in fantasy right now. Dude's gold as far as defense goes. Who's the next guy up?
Next guy up is Kasperi Kapazan. Kapanen? I don't know.
Kapanen.
Pittsburgh Kapanen. The Pittsburgh Penguin winger. Only 22% rostered. In his last 2 games, he got 4.8 points with a couple shots on goal, got a block. In the game before that, got 15.8 points, 17 minutes on ice, and 2 goals. He's starting to hit a little bit of a stride. He did have a game against the Devils where he got 15.8 points with a goal and assist. So, if you're looking for a streaming option, he could definitely be one.
Oh, absolutely. I actually added him today, and then I just realized that my opponent didn't need him either. So, no reason to hoard him. I went and gotten some more goalies. You're not getting those goalie points on me. They're like quarterbacks in fantasy, so you can't let that up, right? So I actually had him on my team and dropped him really quick. Just had a full roster, didn't need it. But a lot of these Penguin players, like Rust, McCann, Carter, Jeff Carter could be on this list as well. They've really come on recently. So, if you can grab some Penguins, scoop up as many as you can right now. They've been on fire. Next up, we've got Thomas Greiss of the Detroit Red Wings. Dude's been absolutely on fire. He's got, wins in 2 of his last 3 performances, but the production has just been out of this world. 33 saves in 33 saves in back-to-back games. Back-to-back games with shutouts, except for in one game, he lost. No, they somehow lost, but he had a shutout. I don't know how that works. I guess if you guys still get a shutout if you go into overtime and you don't allow any regulation goals. But 29, 24, 21 points in his last 3 performances. Detroit's actually been pretty good, man. They're keeping games really close here. So in championship week, if you're looking for a goalie, I think grab a hot Thomas Greiss, only 14% rostered. I know there's a lot of options out there, and they're taking on, what is it, Columbus? On the 7th and 8th of this week. So I think that's some pretty good matchups for Greiss, who's been, shutting down the likes of, Tampa Bay and Dallas, much better or formidable opponents, I should say, than Columbus. So absolutely love some Thomas Greiss in a championship week in fantasy. Let's go. Who's the next guy?
I'm very impressed with Grease's performance. I mean, it's
Right?
basically just showing you need some kind of scoring there, because he literally shut down Tampa Bay, who I would take anybody on their lines. So just a little crazy to see a performance like that. Next one up is Jonathan Quick. He's the goalie for the Kings, only 19% rostered. In his last 2 games that he played, it was a 2-1 win against Anaheim and a 4-1 win against Anaheim. 21.8 points, with 33 saves, and then 14.6 points with 21 saves. So, if he gets in, he could definitely be one to play.
Yeah, I think he's a great ad for championship week. I think that he's got what were the matchups here? He's
Anaheim.
got
They're both Anaheim. Oh,
yeah, Anaheim and Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah, those next 3 are really good matchups. So I would be trying to grab him in a couple of spot starts there. Obviously, he'll split him with Cal Peterson, but I think he's a good plug in 83 of these next upcoming matchups. All right, let's move on here to our fantasy hockey player awards. We're going to start it off here with the most disappointing performance of the year. The nominees are Taylor Hall, Evgeny Malkin, Jack Eichel, Elias Peterson, and Patrick Laine. Who you got, Nick?
I got Jack Eichel, man. He only got 2 goals this year.
Yep.
That's embarrassing. I was going to say Taylor Hall, but Taylor Hall definitely redeemed himself with his play with Boston, kind of like how we were expecting him to play. I'm just very disappointed there's only 2 goals being generated from Eichel. So that's probably why Buffalo's so bad.
Yeah, I mean, he did get hurt. He did get hurt. There was the injury. I feel like the numbers would have finished out better than what they are. But at the same time, I feel like we both had high expectations for that first line. So I'm going to go with Taylor Hall. I just feel like, him coming over to the Sabres, everyone just had a completely different outlook on that team and that franchise this year. Thought there was going to be a bit of a turnaround, kind of a spark to the youth core here in Buffalo. It just didn't happen, just didn't take off. And I felt like, people had, just different or more expectations, right? Behind him, Elias Peterson, first round talent in fantasy, right? Or, beginning of the second, and just completely dropped off. Also had an injury. So I'm going to go with those 2, but definitely Taylor Hall. He's definitely my guy. What's the next award up?
The most surprising performance of the year: Adam Fox, Joe Pavelski, Nikolaj Ehlers, Darnell Nurse, or Jacob Scheikeren.
That's a tough one. I'm going to go with Adam Fox just because I feel like he is going to push for the Norris Trophy this year. He's one of the best, higher scoring defensemen in fantasy, and he really really came scorching down the stretch here to finish the year. So I'm gonna go with Adam Fox, just based off of where people are drafting him in fantasy and what he was able to provide consistently. Very electric player.
I'm gonna say Darnell Nurse. The one thing that really stands out to me is his plus 26. He's becoming the defender that the Edmonton Oilers had needed. Everybody's talking about like them acquiring one or letting some younger ones go to get a more established one. But Darnell Nurse has come on really good. I like, he has 15 goals, 16 assists, very balanced. But the plus 26 is very impressive, especially in that division with Toronto.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good pick. He's been absolutely amazing this year. Another guy that's very consistent and very, very good for hitting your monkey knife fight props. He's always very reliable, and I feel like they always have his numbers really low. So check out some Darnell Nurse on monkey knife fight. All right, next one up, we've got Fantasy Rookie of the Year. The nominations, they are limited. We've got Jason Robertson of the Dallas Stars, Kirill Kaprizov of the Minnesota Wild, and my guy, Kevin Lankinen of the Chicago Blackhawks. Who are you going with, Nick?
I think we both have the same answer. It's Kirill Kaprizov, but it could have been Kevin
Yep.
Lankinen if he actually kept his steam going. But Kirill Kaprizov's just been consistent the entire time, so Kaprizov for me.
Absolutely. I got Kaprizov, my guy. I already been talking him up earlier this show. Been one of the clutch ads for me also this year too. I think we're going to be getting to the waiver wire guy of the year here soon, but he's definitely one of my nominations if he's not on the list. Robertson's been great too. I've plugged him in some DFS, made some money off of him, and Lykinen was fun. It was a fun thing while it lasted. Same thing with the Blackhawks power play. It was cool. Had a nice little streak to it, but here we are at the end of the year. Don't have much to show for either one. So. Thanks, Lykinen. I'm looking forward to future performances here, but fantasy rookie of the year, definitely going to Kaprizov. What's the next award up?
Next award up is sleeper of the year. The nominations are Juice Saros, William Karlsson, Nikolaj Ehlers, Jonathan Marchand, and Anze Kopitar.
Mm-hmm. I got to go with Juuse Saros, man. This dude's like been one of the best goalies this year, and he came in as a backup. If he was getting drafted, if he wasn't added in your league, he was getting drafted in the second or third to last round of the draft. This guy was coming out of nowhere, so got to give it up to Saros. He's been absolutely clutch for the Predators, and one of the reasons that the Blackhawks aren't in contention this year. So got to give credit where credit's due. Going Saros.
The one thing of his stats that really impressed me was the .928 save percentage. That's high as hell. For me, I'm just very impressed by him, and I'm glad that there's someone else in Nashville that can help keep their team, in contention.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Who's your guy?
Oh, Saros. My bad.
Oh, going Saros too? Okay, right on.
Yeah.
So the next one up is Mr. Undroppable, the guy that you just could not get rid of. You couldn't shake him off your team, but because the production was so hot and cold, right? I should just be more clear about that. So the guy you couldn't drop, he's got the name value probably, but the stats aren't there, but then he gives you a couple of good games. Who's your guy, Nick?
Elias Peterson, man. I had high hopes for him. Even though Hope's in Vancouver, I still like Vancouver. Still cheer for them and they're young guys, but Peterson has just been off. He only got 10 goals, 11 assists. Not the production I was looking for from him, but I always wanted to keep him on.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, it's definitely Mika Zibanejad. Added him in the first round of my draft, and to start the year, he was just completely cold, especially for the value that you're getting for first overall pick. I mean, mind you, it was at the end of the first round. I went back to back with Zibanejad and Mikko Rantanen, so you take the good with the bad. Zibanejad's been hot, at the end of the year, had a couple of really, really big games, but man, to start the year, you're just like, what do I do with this guy? What do I do with my hands situation? Like, where does he go? Do I bench him? Like, do I even start him? Luckily enough for me, he was able to correct. So Mika Zibanejad, my Mr. Undroppable. What's the next one up, Nick?
Next one up is Best Ad of the Year. Nominations are Andre Palat, Kirill Kaprizov, Semyon Varlamov, Kevin Lankinen, and Craig Smith. I'm going Andre Palat. Andre Palat is like a third-line guy, and he got 45 points this year. Just very impressive. 17 minutes on ice, so availability is definitely there. 15 goals, 30 assists. I just was impressed with him in the playoffs last year, and I was really happy to see that he continued his success this year.
Yeah, absolutely agree. He would have been my pick. He was one of our big ads early on this year, like one of our first fantasy waiver wires. So glad that he hit. He was an awesome ad. Kind of finished like in the middle of the points. So I'm going to go with Semyon Varlamov, who maybe you didn't add him in your league off the waiver wires, but I did in mine. And when I did, he didn't leave my team, and he still finished as one of the top goalies in the league. So I'm going to go with Varlamov here, having a great year up there with the Islanders, and maybe there's some potential for goalie of the year. We'll see. The last one up we've got is top defenseman. The nominees are Adam Fox, Shea Theodore, Darnell Nurse, Victor Hedman, and Dougie Hamilton. Who's your guy, Nick?
I'm going to say Victor Hedman because I know you're going to go Shea Theodore, I believe. So I'm going to go against you. But, Hedman's just that consistent guy down in Tampa Bay. He's been very consistent since he was really young. And, his plus minus is only 7, but he's still a great defender down in Tampa.
Yeah, absolutely. And you let it in or let into it. I'm taking Shea. Give me Theodore all day. Dude's been the backbone of my team. Alec Martinez as well. The LA or not LA boys, the Vegas guys there. They're both in the top 5 in fantasy scoring. I just kept them on my team. I also had Aaron Ekblad, who was on a tear, but he got hurt. But those literally, other than Ekblad, Theodore, and Martinez, those are the only defensemen that I had on my team from like day one to until Ekblad got hurt, and then it was just Theodore and Martinez. Just been a constant rotation of daily add and drops at the defenseman position. So I have a lot to thank for Shea Theodore to keep me in my position. So he is definitely my top fantasy defenseman this year. Got to go with it. We got a couple left here. What's the next one up, Nick?
Next one up is top goalie. The nominations are Semyon Varlamov. Jeez, that's a mouthful for me. Juice Saros,
Yes,
Marc-Andre Fleury, and Philip Grubauer, and then Tristan Jarry. Who do you think?
I got to go Varlamov. I mean, he's just been my guy. Like I said, I added him in fantasy off the waiver wires. Since I have never left a squad, no thank you. Dude's just been rock solid. I talked earlier about how well the Islanders have played on the road, 21-4 to the under on the road. Obviously, they've been a solid squad all year. Rooting for them in the playoffs, and especially Varlamov. So yeah, give me him all day.
I'm gonna say Saros just because he started off as a backup and really took it by. Took the bull by the horns and really earned his position. And he's up there with the leaders, so I'm just impressed by him. So I'm going to take Saros.
Yep, absolutely. And the last one up, I don't know if it's much of a conversation, but the fantasy MVP, most valuable fantasy player this year. Is there any question, Nick, what the answer is here?
No, Connor McDavid. It's like a freaking clip after fantasy points. He's at like 691.
It's ridiculous.
And then Austin Matthews is 615. It's unbelievable. So definitely going to be a Connor McDavid.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to give some shout outs to some of these guys. Nathan McKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, they've been great for the Avalanche. Nice little pairing. Very profitable this year in DFS, right? Leon Draisaitl right there, but not even in the 600 club. Like you mentioned, Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid, just kind of at the top of the mountain by themselves, and Matthews isn't that far behind, really just, not enough assists. Right, just not enough, total points there to keep up with the likes of Connor McDavid, who's just an absolute machine. 29 goals and 58 assists. For reference, that's 34 more assists than Matthews, and just 9 less goals. For Austin Matthews leads the league in goals, obviously, but yeah, it's just night and day. It's just absolutely crazy. And like you said, huge cliff after him. These are even a bigger gap between Matthews and Draisaitl. And Draisaitl was with McDavid for most of the season and just kind of futtered out. I don't know what happened there. So yeah, McDavid is absolutely the fantasy MVP. Yeah, it is what it is, but they're making haste with it, right? They're looking good as a squad. So I don't think the Oilers or their fans are complaining by any means. So, but let's move into the live betting outro. Those were our fantasy hockey awards for this year. We'll go through the live betting outro and then we'll kick it. Let's see here. First up, we've got the Bruins now up over the Devils 1-0. Big favorites in this game, -600 on the money line, despite only having a 1-goal lead here. The Devils are just getting completely outshot and outworked. What do you think about the over 3.5 goals here?
Give me the over because I think there's going to be 3 goals from the Bruins total and 1 goal at least sneaked in from the Devils.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's really tough. When I turn this game on, I think the shots were 24-6 in favor of the Bruins, and we're midway through the second period here. I don't know what the totals are now. But while we were discussing the awards there, the Bruins did sneak one home, so they got the 1-goal lead. I saw that. I had to turn off my Blackhawks. They were just embarrassing me. They went down 3-0, so I had to get that noise out of here. And betting on the Bruins, not the Hawks tonight, so I wanted to see some action. So I'm going to take the under the 3.5 because I just don't know what the Devils are going to continue to answer the call here. Maybe just playing a little bit too loose up against these Devils, or I'm sorry, these Bruins. Next up, we've got the Hurricanes up 4-0 over the Blackhawks. My God, goal totals at 6.5. I mean, are the Hawks going to score here? Are we going to get anything out of these guys?
Yeah, I think you will. I think you'll get 1 goal, and I think that they'll get the other team will get another goal. So I think that's what will happen.
Lordy. Yeah, I'll stay away from that total. I don't want to mess with that. Maybe if the Blackhawks get one and we see no line movement, maybe I'll pounce, but I'm going to stay away. Next up, we've got the Florida Panthers up 4-2 over the Stars. Right now, Panthers big favorites on the money line, minus 861. Not really any value there. We've got a goal total of 9.5 goals with 13:02 left in the second period. 6 goals total. Do we get 4 more? I'm going to take the under.
Give me the over because the goalies are not tuned in today. So give me the over.
Okay. All right. I just got to get this bet in here because I'm betting this under really quick. Just got to get that in. All right. That place. Yeah, I'm taking the under in that one. 9.5 is just too tall for me. Next one up, we've got the Predators over the Blue Jackets. 1-0. We've still got a goal total of 3.5 goals, but we're halfway through the second period now. What do you think? Can we hit the under? Or are we going over the top?
What was the total again? I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit.
3.5.
Oh, give me the under. I don't think there's going to be enough goal scoring in this game.
Okay, I will take the under there as well. Let's see. We've got the Islanders up over the Sabres 2-0. That under 5.5 goals is looking great so far. The lines are frozen. So we're going to move on to the next game. Wow, Flyers now up 4-0 over the Penguins. We got a live total of 6.5 goals. The Penguins eke some action in here. Can we get over that total?
Yeah, I think the Penguins are not going to take this lightly, so I think they're going to score some goals.
All right, so we're going to take the over there. Plus 14.50 for a rally on the Penguins for 5 goals and a win. I'm going to stay away. Canadians have now tied it up with the Maple Leafs. They're at plus 126 on the money line. Any value for them, and the total is at 4.5 goals. What do you think? I lose Nick?
Give me the under. Give me the under. I don't think there's any value there.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a tight matchup. I will take the Canadians to cover the plus 1.5. It's paying minus 360. Not the best value, but tie it into something. You can find it. The value's out there. A lot of games here, a lot of action tonight. Next up, we've got the Capitals losing to the Rangers right now. The Rangers are now up 3-2, rallying a comeback here. We've got an 8.5 goal total, Nick. Do you like the Capitals right now? The line is locked. Maybe I can get you some value here in a moment. But do you like the Capitals to rally back? And do you like the 8.5 goal total?
I do like the 8.5 goal total, and I think that they are going to rally back. Your boy Mika Zibanejad got 2 goals. Now they're fighting. So not Zibanejad, but the Rangers and it's like a brawl now. Everybody's getting in, even the refs. It's getting a little wild over there. But I think
your
they're going to come back.
Capitals are a bunch of goons, bro. They're a bunch of goons. Tell them to lay off.
It's the DC mob. What are we going to do? Wilson's the godfather. So what are we going to do?
Yeah, DC mob. DC mob's in the White House, bro. Not this White House. I'm not getting political here, guys. You cool it out. It's everybody. Everyone. This isn't a political show. I didn't mean to trigger anybody. Jesus.
Oh, it was Wilson versus Panarin. They got into a scuffle.
Okay, I like it. Panarin not taking any shit tonight. I love it. Zibanejad, 18.5 fantasy points. Let's go. Let's see how we're looking. Right now up 71-35. Let's go. Boot and rally, 8 seeds, making noise in the playoffs, in the fantasy finals. Let's go. We got Jet Campbell looking good, 13 saves. Varlamov, 16. Not too bad. Shea Theodore with a goal, baby. With a goal. Let's go. Alec Martinez also with a goal. Let's go, baby. Light up the fantasy defense. Those are my boys, the Bash Brothers in Vegas. Absolutely love it. All right, before I get off my rocker here, let's move on to the next one. We've got the Senators and the Jets. Senators still up 1-0. Over-under is at 3.5 goals. We got more time has passed. Still no other action here. I'm starting to trend to the under. What do you think?
I'm going to trend to the under as well.
Yeah, it's really tight. Right now, Winnipeg still getting you minus 273 to cover the plus 1.5, only down a goal. I like it. Give me Winnipeg at plus 1.5 in this one. We do have a start to the Ducks and Blues game. We're at zeros. 10 minutes into the first. We're looking at a live total of 4.5 goals. Is there any value? We've gotten 10 minutes in. Numbers dropped a goal. You want to jump on this one, Nick? No? You want to take the under still?
Yes. Yep.
Well, hopefully you guys are in on the 5.5 to start the game, as we told you, the Ducks have been very trendy to the under. Right now, the Vegas Golden Knights up 2-1. Up over the Wild. Again, this is going to be a roller coaster game. I think there's going to be a lot of scoring still to come. We're only 7 minutes in, and we've got 3 goals. So hopefully you guys are in on the pregame over. Right now we're looking at 8.5. I don't love that number. I'm going to say to just stay away from it. Do you like anything there?
Yeah, give me the over. It's a high-scoring game. I mean, shit, 6 minutes have passed.
It is.
3 goals are in. So
it is.
I think that's high-scoring.
You're not wrong there. You're not wrong there. I just don't want to run into any correction, right? The Wild start to figure it out. They play a little bit tighter at home. The Wild right now, if you still like them, plus 199 on the money line. As Nick alluded to, they've been hot up against Vegas, specifically at home. So if you still like the Wild tonight, now's the time to grab them at plus 199. I'm going to stay away from the live total here. But that's pretty much all we have for tonight on the live betting outro. You got anything else for us tonight, Nick?
Hold your doge.
There it is. Hold your Doge. Doge is booming. Let's go. If you see any dips, be sure to buy. We give you all the value here at the Hizzy. Take care and be well, guys. I hope the picks are yours tonight. Nick's actually about to be on a show. Do you want to plug the next one you're about to be on, Nick?
Yeah, the Pigskin Party podcast. It should be on YouTube. Should be a podcast. So I'm excited to do it. We'll be talking a little bit of Cowboys football. So I'm excited. So I'll see you guys there.
Yep. Jump over to Nick's Twitter. I'm sure he'll share it out over there. Was it at Nick TITTH?
Mm-hmm. Nick Davis TITTH.
It's on the screen. There it is. There you go.
Yeah.
Go check out Nick tonight. He's got another show he's doing. So we're gonna jump out of it. Take care. Be well, and we'll see you next week. Have a good night, everybody.